people who are rich are not often rich in spiritual knowledge. So they are also considered poor by me.
Oh.
They're very poor, poorer than the poor. Because if you're poor in money or possessions, but your life is enriched by enlightenment, by knowledge of heaven, by the happiness within, because you're enlightened, and you have a master to teach you, then you're richer than any of the rich in the world.
Yes, Master.
You can see Kabir, he was a weaver only, but how many people revered him at that time and worship him as a master, and they still do nowadays.
Yes.
Generations afterward. And Jesus, he was the son, physically speaking, he was just the son of a carpenter. But how many people revere him at that time, follow him, run after him, his protection and blessing. And they still do nowadays, thousands of years after.
Right, Master.
Yes, Master.
And the Buddha, even though he was a prince, he forsook everything to become just a begging monk. And people still revere him and flock to him. Royalty and government officials and rich people, poor people, they all came to him. And they still do nowadays in front of his statues, seeking blessing, seeking knowledge, seeking enlightenment, and following his teachings to the letter. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So richness, materially, doesn't mean anything, truly, if you're not enlightened. That doesn't mean you can't be rich. It doesn't mean you cannot enjoy your success in worldly business, but just enough to live on, just necessity.
Right.
There's no need to hoard it too much for nothing and keep it there in the bank, doing nothing.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
And worst of all, not rely on this temporary richness, ephemeral richness, in order to boast, to be arrogant, to act above everyone else. Because you are nothing, really. You're born with nothing. Later you go also with nothing.
That's right.
True.
Meanwhile, God gives you some possessions. You should know how to manage them and give some surplus to people in need. That's the way to live.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Master.
That's how you should enjoy your richness and manage the God-given possessions. Otherwise, you'll be doomed. If you're rich and you don't help others, unfortunate to some degree, you cannot take it with you, and you probably go to hell with it because you don't do anything good. Just make it karma, bad karma. In hell, you cannot bribe. You cannot take your money there and give it to the devil there and say, hey, take some money and leave me alone. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes,
Master.
Maybe in our world, in some cases, some people take bribes, maybe do something muddy, and let you of your crime or anything, but not in hell. Now, you see, in heaven, there are no problems, no disaster, no trouble at all, and no concurrence, and no political smearing campaigns, anything. Because the mentality of people or beings in heaven is different than ours. See, they don't compete. They don't care anymore at that time. They were heavenly people. And that's why heaven doesn't ever have disaster or pandemics. Have you ever heard of any heaven that the Buddha talked about having any pandemic?
No.
No. Earthquake?
No.
No, because they're in heaven, they don't have earth there. No, it's not that. What I mean is no disaster, nothing strikes them, because there's no such bad energy to attract such or to create such a mishap.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
All right.
There's lost horizon waiting to be found. There's lost horizon where the sounds of guns never found a dream.